Alright, so here we are with our IPL Bounty Battle Week with WreckItMike. And it looks like he's packing Tapu Koko, Hitmonlee, Dragapult, Seismitoad, Melmetal, and Moltres. Not sure how I feel about this team right off the bat. Eldegoss is actually probably going to put in some pretty good work here, though. Just gotta be careful of that Moltres. But yeah, Heatrans should also be pretty good here. Watch out Seismitoad for him, though. Anyways, be sure you guys stick around for afterwards. We'll be doing commentary on this battle with WreckItMike afterwards as well. But for the moment, gotta figure out what I want to lead with. Oh boy. Heatran's a logical lead, but I think I'll go for Rotom, just because Rotom can build up momentum and I can kind of swap out of whatever might be coming my way. Aside from Seismitoad, but Seismitoad probably doesn't want to eat the Will-O-Wisp. Alright. But yeah, Seismitoad's my guess for starting. Yep. Alright, and then we got our own Rotom coming in. So this basically did end up exactly how I thought it should. There is one good thing. He doesn't have a grass type on his team. So let's see here. We're just going to swap straight to Eldegoss. Because I can't Volt Switch out of this, unfortunately. Yep, there's the Stealth Rocks. Alright, and we're going to go ahead and use Sleep Powder. Yep, there's Moltres. Which is definitely something I wanted to put to sleep. Especially since Electric Terrain can't be used. Okay, so Valor is asleep. Funny thing about this is that last time we battled, he actually used a Zapdos against me, and he called that one, I think it's Instinct. Whatever Pokemon Go's team is, and this is, okay. So we can just swap straight to Rotom here. And it woke up turn 2, that's unfortunate. And if I had to take a guess, I'd say he probably goes into Seismitoad. He's also going to be far more liberal using Tapu Koko now that he knows I'm running Sleep Powder. Yep, so he's going to get that Electric Terrain set up. Alright, and we're actually going to go ahead and protect this turn. Because I want to see what he's going to try and do. So we definitely don't want to give him the satisfaction of having that Volt Switch go off on anything too decent. Unfortunately, I don't have much else. I didn't bring a ground type this time around. Should have thought about that, but oh well. So what's he bringing out this time? Should be Seismitoad. So that's the only thing I can imagine he'd want to put in on here. And since we can't put this thing to sleep right now, might as well burn it. Alright, and we're actually going to put Scrafty in here. Because as much as I don't want to, I think our best bet is going to be... setting up. At least it was until that knockoff came in. Ugh. Now the real question is, what is he going to try and swap into this? He could swap in with either Tapu Koko or Moltres. I'd say Moltres is probably the safer bet. So we're going to go ahead and crunch. Oh, he stayed in with this thing. Alright, Scalding, trying to burn this thing. That's honestly alright with me. I think I want to bring Eldegoss back in. I'm sure he's thinking I'm going to switch probably to Eldegoss. So we'll see if Moltres comes back in. Yep. Alright, so with Koko coming in to reset the terrain, I can actually go ahead and Leech Seed here, and I'll be generally okay with that. Oh, he's not going to like the Rocky Helmet. And next should be Moltres that comes in, I think. And we'll go ahead and Leech Seed that thing. No, Iron Giants. And we miss. Okay. I'll go ahead and go for Leech Seed again, just because we need the healing. Double Iron Bash is going to hurt, though. Oh, nope. Earthquake. He was expecting me to swap to Heatran on that. I know this thing runs Earthquake, and I don't care if... And I'd still rather not take the double Iron Bash to the face. Alright, so... I think we'll go with... Yeah, let's do Rotom. Because we've seen Earthquake, and double Iron Bash is going to be quad resisted. Yep. Valor. This definitely did not go how he would have wanted it. But this is going to be a nuisance. Alright, and now he's swapping out what's going to be his best Pokemon thanks to U-turn. So we'll have to see what comes of it. Alright, electricity has disappeared. Alright, Mystical Fire here. Okay, so we're probably running Assault Vest then, which is unfortunate for Sylveon, because now Sylveon has to take this. I didn't want to bring Spiritomb in, but I think we're going to. Yep, that's Vest. I did not need that crit. Alright, we'll see if we can get a Will-O-Wisp off on this one. Yep, withdrawing that, probably for... Coco. Okay. Resetting the terrain so I can't put him to sleep. Because he knows that's his biggest threat right there. And I can't hit anything today, apparently. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and curse here. Yep, there's the Volt Switch, and I think Spiritomb should live that. So we live that, get Spiritomb KO'd so we get a free switch in on whatever's coming in. If I had to take a guess, probably Seismitoad or Moltres. Moltres it is. Okay, we're going to curse that thing, get rid of some of its... Get rid of what should be a decent amount of its health. Alright, and then we'll put Sylveon back in. We're going to Wish right here. As it's going to try and heal itself there. And then he's probably going to U-turn out. We're going to Hyper Voice though, because it's going to hurt whatever comes in. Even that stupid Melmetal. Yep, there's the withdraw. So we're going to Hyper Voice him, raise our special attack, and hopefully KO this thing. Alright, we're going to protect right here. Dang. Okay. That didn't really matter. I'm fine with that, though. Because we'll just Wish again. Mystical Fire. Hey, I'm the only one who's allowed to do that. Alright, we're going to go ahead and bring Heatran in, as much as I don't want to. But if he does do Mystical Fire again, that's going to be fodder for Flash Fire. Alright, we'll get Stealth Rocks going here. Yep, there's the U-turn. Heatran will take that pretty easily. And next is probably Seismitoad. Yep. Really wish I hadn't burned this thing, because I could have Toxiced it instead, but since I was expecting it, we're going for Stealth Rocks instead. Now the main question is, do I think Heatran's faster than this thing? Unfortunately, no, I don't. So back to Eldegoss. If I thought it was faster, I would taunt it to prevent Stealth Rock from going up. My god, what is with all these crits? I'm missing stuff and getting crit on. That is just not okay. Granted, half of these don't matter too much. You can try and swap out, but then I get Leech Seed off, and whatever comes in I can swap into easily enough. Okay. So I think Sylveon's going to be our best swap in here. As much as I don't want to. On the off chance this thing does decide to shoot Fire Blast at me. Oh, nope, we got Defog instead. But we take those. We just gotta wear down his team. He knows I'm running Protect, so that doesn't help him too much. Yep. Alright, we just gotta keep wailing on this thing until we can get it to a point where we can KO it. And this may be a good point where I let Sylveon go. I don't think... I don't want to. Alright, we're going to have Scrafty come in. Get the Intimidate off, live a Double Iron, Bash, or an Earthquake. Alright, how much trust does he put in this thing? We're gonna Poison Jab. Yep, because there that thing goes. Hopefully Coco comes in. There it is. This is gonna hurt a lot. Not nearly as much as I would have liked, though. And we didn't even get the poison off. That's alright, though. We'll put Eldegoss in. Yep, there's the volt switch. In comes Moltres. Ugh, this is a really long battle of both me and him trying to play around the other. Just gonna go straight for Leech Seed. Yeah, it's Dragon Dancing at this point. Get the Leech Seed, get some health back, and possibly put it to sleep if Electric Terrain goes away like I'm hoping it will. Not that it'll matter. Because we've used up all of our time. And he wins by 1 KO. Ah, well. Well, that was certainly an interesting match. Wish either side had gotten more done, but I definitely was not going to let him have this victory as much as I could. He still wins because he managed to KO one Pokemon before I could KO any of his. Oh well. And so ends the battle. I lose because I have one less Pokemon than he does. And we'll be right back with some commentary from WreckItMike. Alright, and here we are with WreckItMike, who you guys just saw us battle with. Very close match towards the end, maybe.
Hey,
Go ahead.
yeah. So we talked about this a little bit already, but like I said, I've been I've been using like random teams, mostly because like I'm using like Pokemon that I used for like Draft League before. So I'm just like picking out stuff from my boxes, anything that doesn't have like too specialized IVs. And I grabbed that Hitmonlee, and I'm like, oh, okay, this has Stone Edge, it doesn't have Poison Jab. Let me get the TM real quick, and I don't have any. I was like, what are the chances he brings up a fairy type?
I don't know, you guys kind of harped into me on the draft leagues about not having a good Fairy Dragon Steel core. Granted, I didn't have that now, but I figure I should have one or two of them at least.
Right, right. Normally you bring like Appleton or something like that. So I was like, okay, I can just close combat that. Um,
I didn't
but
think I
no,
used it
this,
that often.
yeah. So that's kind of like the reason why I never went to Hitmonlee. I was like, I need to get that Sylveon to at least 50% health, and then maybe I can a +1 Astonish will kill it depending on what set you have. Um, but yeah, no, that was interesting. And I also told you that the Dragapult was probably gonna sweep because I have a Phantom Force, but I just ran numbers. I don't know what type of Hitron you have, but if your Hitron was max HP, like most Hitrons are, it actually doesn't kill it. It actually has like 68 to 80%. So
Yeah, I didn't think it would. Heatrans are bulky even without investment, so.
right, right. I was surprised. I mean, Phantom Force is a heck of a move, but
Oh, I
yeah.
know it's hard hitting, but.
And I was like, oh, he cannot even install me with Protect with Sylveon because Phantom Force goes to Protect. So I was like, this should be fine. Uh, so yeah, I don't know. That Sylveon was scary though. I did not expect that. Even
Uh,
Melmeta,
that
even the
Sylveon's not
Melmeta
great,
was, yeah, even the Melmeta who was like full SPDF with Assault Biz was about to get KO'd if I didn't play around it. So yeah, that was a good game.
yeah, despite how anticlimactic, as you already commented on earlier, it was definitely a lot more going on than just either one of us is straight sweeping the other.
Right. Because I didn't bring Poison Jab. That is unfortunate.
Yeah. Ugh.
No, it's a good game. Yeah. I think we always had close games. I guess this game is gonna teach me to respect Eldegoss a bit more because I just laugh every time I see that mod, and turns out that it was actually giving me a lot of trouble here.
See, you're not the first person that I do that to. Every single person that I fight has always come to that conclusion. It's like, I do actually know what I'm doing with this thing.
Nah, that's fair. Still think that Poison Jabu had to rock his war because I just needed to get set
Yeah,
up,
yeah,
sitting from
Poison
a bit,
Jab definitely wouldn't have been nice for this team.
right? And especially the Kokugo set that I'm running because that Kokugo set has both ball switch and U-turn, so it's like you're not stopping me from going to Hitmonlee or Dragon Ball. And it also has the two screams. So I was like, nah, I'm setting up and I'm sweeping, but I guess not so much. Uh, yeah,
Yeah,
good.
Timer had other plans.
Yeah, this is why I like doing land timer for single battles. Like the two matches that I had lost in IPL so far have been to timer. Granted, I was probably it wasn't 100% sure whether I could bring it back or not, but I lost the timer because I like sacking mons.
Yeah,
I don't play for the timer usually.
I mean, neither do I. Usually, I'm pretty quick with my decisions, so timer's usually not too much of a factor in most of my battles. But when it comes to people who actually know what they're doing and can play around me, then
Right.
yeah, it matters.
Exactly. There's a lot of doubling and switching around this. Um, yeah, no, like I said, good game. Now maybe I'll give you a rematch at some point, or we'll get a rematch. Sorry to break your streak. I
I
know
didn't
you were
have a
going strong
streak.
with that. I know you were going strong with that +1 streak.
Oh yeah, very much so. Very much so, and in a bonus battle no less, because clearly those are more important than our bounty battles.
Right, exactly.
For those of you that don't know, bounty battles are the one weekly battles that we're assigned to, and that's what this week is, and that's what all of my recordings are. I did win one of my bonus battles, but so far, all of my bounty battles I've lost at this point. Oh well. Um, I was starting to catch on with how you were switching, though, which I was happy about a little bit. Managed to get the poison jab off when I thought Coco was coming in, so that was pretty good. Just wish it did
Yeah,
more
no.
damage than it did.
I was surprised you went for poison jab. I mean, when I thought about it, it makes sense. I actually thought you were gonna knock me out, but because this Coco has almost full HP, because it's a random Coco that I use for a BGC draft league, so it has max HP. So I was like, okay, great, I lead, sweet. Um, but yeah, no, that was a very good prediction, and I really hate how you play around the middle middle. I was like, should I click this or should I click that? I mean, a few of them I got right, but the earthquake on the Eldegoss was really annoying. I could have just killed that with an Iron Bash.
I was just waiting for you to swap Moltres into Eldegoss when I couldn't put it to sleep. Well, I could, but free switching.
Right. If you were gonna put something to sleep, I figured that Moltres would be the best thing anyway. I mean,
You were running
we,
Coco, so I didn't have much other choices until the terrain went out. So
see, I didn't even think about that the first time because I don't usually think about people running sleep powder. To be honest with you, I know you do it a lot with when you bring Eldegoss, probably because Eldegoss doesn't have any other four moves that he can use anyway. But
yeah, it's got a few others, but this set's not the cleric set, so
right, makes sense. Yeah, no, that's good. Uh, you know, another thing that I guess I would point out is that the seismic talk is so free on your Rotten Watch because I know you don't run pre-gen moves. So you don't have defog on that. You don't have toxic on that.
yep.
You don't have knockoff on your Scrafty. That's the information that is like really valuable to know. But one of these days, you're just gonna decide, you know what? I'm tired of people taking advantage of that, and just gonna like breed them on the previous gen and bring them up, and you'll catch me by surprise because I was like, oh, okay, the worst thing he can do to my seismic talk is to burn me. And I was like, and if you toxic me, I was like, okay,
I
now we're
wish
in
I
trouble.
wish you were right, but you're not. I'm never gonna switch back to the pre-gen moves just because I've got all my stuff over. And it's just like I just find it too much of a pain. I think I still have a couple of Pokemon, including the Heatran that I actually used was from a previous generation, so that one still has Toxic.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, Transferring transferring legends will be annoying. I agree, but transferring like a something that you can breed so rather easily like a Rotom or whatnot. I don't see why not. Especially when it makes them a lot more usable. Like there are certain Pokemon that need those transfer moves. I know you love Absol, and I 100% think that Absol is completely useless without knockoff. So
It does get knockoff.
Oh, okay, then good, good.
It learns
Right.
knockoff in its level up moves. Yeah, no, Absol's actually probably one of the, well, not one of the few, but one of the great many Pokemon that have benefited from the TMs and records this generation.
Oh, okay.
It got access to close combat, which it didn't have before. It had to rely on superpower. It learns knockoff on its level up now, so it didn't have to rely on breeding or tutors for that.
Okay. Yeah, that's
And
good.
Play Rough
I
is also
recall.
a TM now too, so don't have to breed that.
Right. I just recall you drafting a dark thing at some point and not having knockoff a lot of your mons. I was like, if I was drafting dark, I would have knockoff on everything. Absolutely everything.
Yes, but you see, then everybody expects that, and that's where you can run those surprise coverage moves.
I guess, but then you're forced into running stuff like Crunch or you know Night
Yeah.
Slash, which I guess with Super Lock and Scope Length could be a nice surprise, but I still think it's inferior to knockoff. Knockoff just knocking off items is just so good. I mean, if you ever heard about that argument of knockoff of Skull for best move in the game, I will tell you neither. Hurricane is the best move in the game when hits, but knockoff is the close second. Knockoff is just such a good advantage, like knocking off items, especially in this kind of league where it has the item clause. So knowing that I knock off your scarf, it gives me so much security that
Oh yeah,
if I have
definitely.
speed, you're in trouble. So yeah.
All right. So initial turn, did that go exactly how you thought it was gonna go? If you remember,
Remind me, who did we lead? Who did we lead with? I don't remember.
you led Seismitoad and I led Eldegoss.
Ah, well, I knew that you couldn't. I know that
No,
you
wait,
couldn't
no.
toxic me. So I was like, okay, so if I stealth rocks, well, number one, I need a stealth rocks 100% because I need a chip on your stuff so some Dragapult can finish it or Hitmonlee can finish the Sylveon. So yeah, I know that one I suspected. I figured that if you will switch to Eldegoss, you will have to spin, and then at that point I can just go to Moltres. I forgot about Sleep Powder, but Sleep Powder, that doesn't do much to Moltres. Moltres was, for the most part, Moltres was just gonna be U-turning the entire game or clicking anything but a fire move because I didn't want to give a +1 to Hydran. Like the only thing on my team that could take a hit from Hydran was Seismitoad, and that team will probably get two hit KO if I give you a +1. So right.
Yep. I was waiting for that. I was kind of seeing if I could bait you into it, but the fact that you kept U-turning kind of told me I shouldn't even bother.
Right. The only time that I kind of have to do it was when you were a +1 with Sylveon because, you were a +1. So it's like, okay, there's no, he didn't get to +1 just to switch it out, at least not the first turn, right?
Yeah.
It's like people normally don't switch out once they're set up, which you usually can take advantage of, in my opinion. Um, but yeah, I need to start running Scorching Sands on my Moltres. I swear, every time anybody brings a mon with Flash Fire, Moltres is useless. I mean, it's not necessarily useless, but you can't really not attack.
Yeah. It's definitely a hard wall for Moltres, especially on something like Heatran that resists any flying stab as well.
Right. Yeah, I don't normally run Hurricane on Moltres unless it's very type specific, But overall, Mystical Fire is just better for what it tries to do on this set.
Eh, I suppose. Certainly didn't help my Sylveon out too much.
Right, that thing was scary, man. I thought that you were going to try to finish off the Melmetal with Mystical Fire.
No,
I
considering how much it took from Mystical Fire earlier, I had no hopes of KOing it.
I think it was like a small chance. I was like, I don't remember exactly the numbers, but I was like, okay, well, he if I'm him, I will just try to finish it off because
The other thing was that it had wish, and I would very much have liked to have kept using that if I could. So I
Okay.
definitely
That's fair.
definitely did not want Sylveon to go down on a chance that I could KO your Melmetal when I can still play around it a little.
Yeah, I'm surprised you never switching Rotom to Melmetal. Rotom
I
was
did
kind of like
once.
great. Hmm?
I did once, but you also hard switched out at that point to something else as well. So
Oh, okay. Yeah, all right. That makes sense. I mean, to be honest with you, if I was in your position, I always go Rotom and Melmetal because Melmetal, the best that Melmetal could do is maybe Thunder Punch, and I will need like the terrain to be up for it to do any kind of damage. And my guess is that you were some sort of freaking super berry because it nothing was activating. So I was trying to knock off that Rotom because I was like, I don't want to activate that berry. Um, but you weren't letting me, which was annoying. What was the point of that Spiritomb though? Because if you were clearly trying to suicide something, I really don't know what the point is on. To be honest.
the Spiritome is more of a blanket check if I need it. Otherwise, it can pass on status or just deal straight damage with Nightshade. In this particular battle, it wasn't a great help to me at all. So I thought if I could either force a switch or deal heavy damage to something with Curse, that would be great. So that's kind of why I let it go down when I did.
Makes sense.
And it's a
I
clean
normally
switch in
run.
afterwards if you because I was expecting an attack. So
Makes sense. I normally run Sun Speed on Melmeta. Well, actually, this Melmeta did have some speed on it. So if you didn't have any speed on it, I could have just kill it. But if you outspeed me for whatever reason, that curse would have been bad because I wouldn't have been able to switch into Sylveon anymore. So, man, that this game was a lot of moving pieces, man.
yes, it
I didn't
was.
expect it to be this competitive. It's a shame that it ended up the way it ended up.
Yeah,
Right.
for better or for worse, it does what it does.
Right. Yeah. No. Good game. Good game.
Yep, it was a good game, and I look forward to more with you on that. But I think we're gonna
Well
cut
done.
that here. So thanks for the chat, thanks for the battle, and good luck with the rest of your endeavors on that.
Yeah. Thanks. You do.